Well, Mary, you ready to go?
I am. It's so exciting. We've got a little bit of snow and the air's kind of chilly.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just so excited.
So, let's get in my mobile and take off.
That's right. Let's go.
Oh my God. Mary. Oh my God. It happened again. Oh no.
For the love of Pete, Nancy. What?
I don't know, Mary. Look at this. This doesn't look like Trempealeau County.
What have you done, Nancy? Once again,
you're
you're monkeying around with stuff.
With space and time. I don't
Instant
think so.
coffee in the microwave again. Can we get a handle on this, Nancy?
This isn't even Buffalo County. I don't think.
This is just. I mean, that's pretty, but I mean, is it safe for us?
I don't know anything about giraffes.
I know nothing of giraffes.
Are they going to be attacked?
They have long legs and long necks, and I do
Oh.
believe they like to eat leaves.
But I don't like this. We're out in the desert somewhere.
Well, it looks like Trempealeau County this past summer when we had no rain and we were in drought. We were in drought.
But we didn't have giraffes.
No, we did not.
No.
We did not. No giraffes.
I don't want to stay out here in this desert, so let's, look, there's a hill. Let's just walk over that hill and see what's on the other side.
Do we really want to see what's on the other side,
we don't
Nancy?
want to stand here.
No, I'm not. Because usually giraffes are prey, and then they bring in predators.
I don't know anything about it, so let's just, come on, we're going to walk
let's go.
over the hill.
Walk over the hill. Walk over the hill. Oh, whew.
Oh, no, this isn't a whole lot better.
Well, but at least everyone's relaxed and lying
I
down.
know, but
Shh. Don't just make any noise.
I know something about camels. If they don't like you, they'll spit. Yeah.
They make all this gurgly noise. And it's like a cow hawking up their cud, right?
I don't want to ride a camel either. That looks terrible.
Well, they are kind of, I think it'd be hard on your back, wouldn't it? Or do they ride like a horse? You're a horse lady.
I know, but they've got that big hump. I don't know.
Well, don't you ride in between the humps?
These are the ones that have the one hump.
But they've got a saddle.
No thanks. I don't know. I just
no saddling.
No. I don't want to deal with these camels, but I want to get out of here. So
Okay.
I think we just better keep walking.
Okay.
All right. So let's just leave the camels.
Okay. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Now watch out for that cactus.
Watch out for the camel pie. There's camel pies.
Oh dear. Well,
how?
At least there isn't any wildlife here.
Snakes, scorpions. Nancy, can you explain to me what are you doing to make these things happen?
Me? I think it's you.
It's not me.
I think it's
not
you
me.
And your magnetic personality.
I do not have a magnetic.
That's causing all this mess. This isn't good because I know you have to get home to do chores.
And
I have things I've got to do. I can't be sitting around here in a desert.
Well, then where do we go? What can you undo? Uh-oh. Here we go. Here we go.
I do have bars, believe it or not.
Okay, I'm not so sure about this.
Now, I'm going to call my son Franz, even though he retired from the Air Force.
I know about those retired guys.
He still is working in kind of the same
job. It's super secret. Nobody can talk about it.
Yeah.
But get a hold of him.
Yeah,
get a hold of him, Nancy.
Call him and see.
The clock is, look at this. The clock is ticking. There's stuff that needs to happen, and you're goofing off.
Franz?
Yes, Mom.
This is your mother and
Mom.
Mary.
Hi, Franz.
Again, we need your help because we are in a situation where we're out in this desert and there's like things out here like giraffes.
And scary things, like things that bite you on your ankles.
And camels, and we can't be here. We've got other things to do. Can you get us out of here somewhere?
Instant coffee in the microwave, 3 minutes. Instant coffee.
Mary is going to get really hard to work with.
I am.
In a few minutes. So we've got to get out of here.
Tell him, should I have Bruce give him a call?
Oh, wait. No, we can't call an Uber here. My goodness.
There's no phone booth.
We don't even know where we are. Are we even on the same continent? I don't know.
Can we, like, what's that thing? Earth it? Go and find it on your phone?
I don't. Well, hopefully our phone is tracking us. He said our phone's probably tracking us right now.
So they know where we are.
He said we should try this new thing. It's called Bluber.
Bluber?
Bluber.
What is Bluber?
Well, he said, what? Oh, all right. It'll track us on our phone, and you're okay. I'll try that. I'll
Send
call
in
him. I know you're
reinforcements.
busy. Okay, we'll try this. Yeah. Bye. All right. Now we got to call this Bluber.
There's no such thing as Bluber.
Well, that's what he said. So we're
And how do they really know where we are?
because your phones track you. You know.
Spy phone?
Yeah, they probably know right
That's
where
better
we
than
are.
them chipping us, right?
That's right. That'll be the next
Hey,
thing.
because then we pay for it because we buy the cell phones.
Bluber? Yes. Yeah, I guess we need some help. But I'm not sure where
I don't
we
have a credit
are.
card. I don't have any money, Nancy.
Yeah, how are we going to pay for it? We'll charge it to the Air Force.
Charge it
Yeah.
to the Air Force.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll get us out of here right away,
We
Nancy.
got to get out of here. So, yeah, and you can track us on our cell phone, right? Okay. All right, I'm going to hang up, and I guess we just need to keep an eye out for you, right? Okay. all
What do
right.
you think? What color vehicle?
Thank you, Bluber. Okay.
What color vehicle, Nancy? I don't want to get picked up by a strange vehicle and whisked off and put on a barge someplace. And wait a minute. We've been popping up all over the place, so I don't know what is going on.
Oh, we just have to be patient, I guess. And he said, "Oh, look, Mary, look what's coming to get us."
Oh no! Where'd you go?
Yes! Here we are!
Come get us! Come get us! Come get us!
It's a blimp! Oh my God, this is wonderful! Yes!
They explode, Nancy.
Well,
they explode. First, she's trying to dump me off in the woods, and now she's putting me into a vehicle that will explode.
But it's going to get us home.
It's going to get us home.
Yes, and we
There we
want to go
go.
home. It's not like in Wizard of Oz where we tap our heels together 2 times.
I don't even
and they take us home.
tap your tennies.
Yeah, tap your tennies and we fly off. Boy, oh no, are we going to have to climb up that rope ladder?
I'm not climbing up no rope ladder. I'll break a hip.
Uh,
You'll break a hip.
oh, hey, we got to get out of here. That's all there is to it.
And away we go.
All right, Mary, you're doing fine. Keep coming down. I know. I know you don't like rope ladders, but you're doing great. Good. Okay, come on. You're back on the ground. Oh, dear. I'm sorry, you poor thing. Well, that wasn't any fun.
I am just thoroughly exhausted, Nancy.
Well, you know that dirigible was nice, but it was slow.
Oh, it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, we got to remember Bluber if this happens to us again. But you know what? I don't think I could stand driving anywhere.
I'm so exhausted
I
and
know.
emotionally wrecked. I mean,
What is going on with us?
you know, this time travel business
I
is
know
something
it
else.
is not fun. So I'll tell you what. Let's just go in my house
Yeah,
and
we'll change it up.
we'll do a remote studio kitchen edition.
There we go.
Okay.
I'm exhausted. Just exhausted. Unfortunately, once again, we are again plagued with dog issues. The turkey hot dog snacks are getting pulled out. Turkey hot dog snack. Zip does not.
She doesn't want to be part of the program.
She doesn't want to participate. Apparently, we've done something to grossly offend her.
But she's happy now.
I do believe it's because this was supposed to be a road trip day, and it's been suspended. It's been suspended.
Because Mary and I are, we're just wet noodles. We're so worn out.
exhaustion at its finest.
It is.
Oh, glasses.
There we go.
Okay, here we are.
And it is kind of wintry outside, and so we are doing our remote studio from
Yes.
high above Square Bluff. So,
Which is not the highest point in the county.
no, I have never claimed that. Never. And Mary, before we look at some pictures here, this is what I found when I was cleaning out, doing some cleaning in what was my folks' attic.
Okay.
People my age or older, do you remember the Weekly Reader? You probably don't.
No.
Well, it was like this little newspaper that we got once a week, and it had, stories and puzzles and news in it. Well, this was a special edition. My mom
Wow.
saved it because it was when Kennedy was assassinated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's something else.
Yeah, I'm sure that there are older people, my age or so, that remember the Weekly Readers.
Oh, I'm sure. And they also remember the day when our president was assassinated.
Right. So this was kind of that's I'm sure why my mom, saved it, and so it was kind of a double memory thing. The Weekly
Wow.
Reader, which was kind of neat because, you were a kid, but you got a kid's newspaper. So anyway, here we are, folks, and we are going to try to get things going here and look at some pictures.
And once again, I have absolutely no idea what our topic for the day is.
No.
Nancy likes to surprise me.
Like I say, I like Mary to be on her edge.
So if I look lost and perplexed, then, everybody has a good understanding of, how come I look lost and perplexed.
Okay, now this first one is of a young man, and he is bottle feeding 3 lambs.
Look at that.
Yeah. Now, is there anything in the background here that looks familiar to you?
Well, there's a fence.
What about this round structure?
Oh, yeah, that's a milk house. No,
No.
it's a,
There was a windmill there first, wasn't there?
yes, a well house.
Yes. This was taken on your husband Bruce Anderson's home farm.
I remember that building.
Yeah.
I remember that building because
Yeah.
it graduated over time into being like a yard shed.
Yes, it was. But I think, originally it was like, it wasn't, they had the well there and
Yes.
the windmill.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I'm not even sure. This could even be Bruce's dad. I don't know. But there was some Anderson photos.
It could very well
Yeah.
be. Wow.
And I don't remember them ever having sheep, do you? That wasn't something
No,
I
I
remember.
came later. This is a few years back before my time.
Yeah. But I can't imagine 3 bottle-fed lambs. That must have been keeping everybody busy.
Well, look at
There
just
is a family portrait of the Anderson kids minus 1.
yes, the
Because
youngest.
there's 9 kids here.
There's 9.
Yeah. So I think right here in back it's Kay
Okay.
and Ina.
Yes.
Okay. And then down here is Carol.
Yes.
She looks exactly the same. And this young man must be Bruce.
Yes.
Look at him in his tie and everything.
I know. He was all spiffed up, but in order, Mike was the next in line.
Well,
So
this would have been Mike here.
That's Mike.
Okay. And so this had to be Julie.
Yep, that's Julie, but in terms of line, it would have then been Paul.
Well, here's Paul over here.
Yes.
But I don't think they're arranging them by ages here. So this has to be Susan
Yes.
and Beth.
Yes.
Yeah. So the only one that's missing from this picture, because she wasn't born yet, was
Correct.
Lori. Yeah.
Yes.
So that was the Anderson family. But look at Bruce, your husband. He
I
is
know.
looked very spiffed up. And now, I don't even know whose house this is. But the reason I took this picture is look at this thing that's to the right of the house.
Is that the summer kitchen?
It's a summer kitchen.
See, I knew what that was.
We have talked about that before, about summer kitchens, and this is really a good shot of what they were. And so what did they do with summer kitchens?
They canned. and canned
Yeah,
and canned
and cooked, I
and
think.
cooked
Yeah.
and cleaned and canned and canned and canned.
Yeah, it was a way to keep the house from getting too warm during the
Yeah,
summer.
exactly.
Especially if you're cooking with wood.
Well, yeah, it has a tendency to heat up the whole room.
So
It's nice this time of the year. We do have a freestanding wood stove in our kitchen.
yeah,
And just the other night, it wasn't really cold because our weather's been kind of wonky this
Yeah.
year. We've had a lot of 40-degree days,
can't
which
make up its mind if it's going to
Yeah.
be cold or what.
yeah, it's not quite sure. But we gotta keep watching that thing. Okay. Well, we got a slight technical difficulty, but
That's
we're
okay.
we're beyond
We'll,
it.
we'll just cut that
But
out.
the summer kitchen, they were very utilitarian.
Yeah, they were, and I think that when not in the summer when they weren't cooking out there, that didn't they put the stack wood and stuff out there, or
Yeah.
coal or whatever they were using. So yeah, it was a very
Multi-purpose
it was
addition without being an addition.
So here's a picture. I imagine these might be your relatives, my relatives, getting off a ship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With the few possessions that they had,
yeah.
fleeing whatever, I don't know, whatever bad things were going on.
Well,
I mean,
it's-
war, famine, genocide
There was
in a lot of cases.
And I just think how amazing that would be to leave everything your home, your relatives, your support groups, and take the gamble that you're going to get on a ship
And make it
and go across the ocean. And then you don't usually stay on the East Coast. You got to get a train or something to get to where we are today in Wisconsin.
Yeah, and that,
It's amazing. I just don't know how they were able to do that. They must have been desperate. It's the only thing I can figure out.
well, when the world is collapsing around you and the only option you have to potentially survive is to flee,
Yeah.
then I mean that's part of the deal. And so many of these people traveled alone.
Yeah.
And so you don't know the language.
Right. That's
You
another
don't-
thing.
You don't know the culture.
No.
And it's a whole different can of worms.
It
And
would have been
with-
so difficult.
and without these people, there would not be a history files.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I go for being daring to
I think-
give us all a chance.
Amazing people. And I had found what made me think about that this was posted online.
Oh.
It was a obituary for Anna Mish, who died. Just a second. I've got to get my glasses because I can't see this.
95. She died at home.
She had been born in Germany, but it was actually Poland because at that time Prussia had a hold of Poland, and it said that her husband died in 1918, but she lived on to be in her 90s. They lived in North Creek, and she had been born in 1843, and she was a coquette from home.
Okay.
And she and her husband, Lawrence Mish, they married in Poland. And then it said in 1873, they decided to come to the United States.
Wow.
And they had 4 children, and at that time in Poland, they had 7 acres. That was all they had.
Wow.
Yeah, it
That's a
wasn't-
tiny little piece of ground.
Yeah, that's what we think of it today. And they said that they got to New York, on the sailing ship. And then they reached Trempealeau with only $50 in their possession.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
So it said her husband, Mr. Mish, he left the family in Trempealeau, and he walked to North Creek because he had a relative there.
That is really, really cool.
Imagine that, that's taken a lot. when he left her, and this is,
See ya, honey. I'm gonna go find a place for us to live.
1873. It wasn't like the county had
A highway.
a lot of amenities at that time.
That is just wild.
And then they did purchase a farm in Corporal Valley, and it said only the time that they bought it, there were only 9 acres under cultivation.
Oh, so
yeah, so they
that
started.
had to be a challenge.
They started with a lot of work apparently, but
ooh, a rude hut.
Yep, that's what they lived in.
I wonder if families today would settle for living in a rude hut.
Really. And they said they had the plainest of food, and they just didn't. They said they had a lot of hard days of toil. Oh, I'll bet. And when she finally passed away, it said that she had 80 grandchildren.
Holy cow.
Because she had something like 8 children. And 142, 80 grandchildren, 142 great-grandchildren, and 31 great-great-grandchildren.
Holy cow.
So that's an amazing story. When I saw that, I thought, wow, and this lady lived quite a long time. She outlived her husband for a lot of years. But just imagine, yeah. She died in, I think it was 1940, somewhere around there.
Wow, and it says the death of Mrs. Mish interrupted the companionship of 21 groups of 5 generations.
Yeah.
Wow, that is just wild.
They ought to put a monument up to these people. And
so she had 8 children, you said?
I thought they said it was 8 that survived.
Okay,
yeah.
8 that survived. So how many times does 8 go into 60?
Well, it actually would have been it said that she had 80
No, 60 grandchildren.
Oh, 60. Oh, okay.
60 grandchildren, 21 great-grandchildren,
and 142.
42.
Yeah, wow. That's numbers.
That's a lot of kids.
Boy.
That is, could you imagine the size of Christmas? Holy Hannah.
Try to keep up with those Christmas cards and birthday cards.
They would have, how? And she lived into her 90s.
Yeah.
You go, girl. Wow, look at this.
Well, I thought this is really a testament about how strong those old trucks were. Look at it.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't even know where this is, but I thought...
I do not think that is DOT approved. I mean, this is not...
You think hilarious. If you tried that these days that you might... Get a ticket?
I think there'd be a problem. But they are on a paved road.
Yes.
So they are someplace settled, and there's electric. You can see the electricity poles.
But I just said that's really thinking and using those old, like a Ford truck or whatever it is.
There you go.
That's pretty amazing.
Ingenuity at its finest.
It was.
Oh.
Now,
oh, Nancy, right after Thanksgiving, now we've got turkeys on the screen.
That's another way to use turkeys, right?
Draft turkeys. Maybe they wanted more dark meat at Thanksgiving time, so...
You wonder, did she have to use that whip on them?
Well, she's got it,
She's ready.
She's ready to go. She's got the reins. Let's go.
Don't you wonder whoever came up with this idea?
Well, I've seen dogs pulling carts like that with little kids in them.
Oh, yeah, and goats and things like that. But I have never seen a turkey cart before. It's a pair. It's a tandem turkeys, And
it looks like they're both toms.
Could
so
be.
How do they keep them from fighting?
I don't know.
Well, maybe they're too tired from pulling the kid around in the wagon.
Yeah. I just love that photo.
Oh, man. Where do you find this stuff?
Oh, all over. And this is one for you, Mary, because what is this lady doing as she's putting on the milker?
Oh, I don't know how many times I've done that. You just sit on the cow that's laying down in the stall next to you. And you
Why
know,
not, huh?
it's really comfortable, especially on those cold mornings,
Oh, I'm
because a lot
sure.
of these stall barns, they were kind of chilly.
Yeah.
You know, and I've milked cows in barns with the sandstone frame up, just like what's on this
on the wall,
pictures,
you bet.
with the windows in the same configuration. In this was a stall barn,
Yeah.
and there was one lever. Cows would walk in. They had their own stall.
Oh gosh, yes.
And don't let Nellie go in Cindy's
Nope.
stall, because then there's gonna be a fight.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, you get a nice warm chair. Hey, that's probably one of the original heated seats.
Well, I imagine. And apparently the cow that she's sitting on didn't care.
No, she could care less.
No,
She's
I
probably
know.
going, oh, I get a chance to get rid of some of that 101-degree temperature I've got.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a good picture for you. Now, remember when we talked about
The logging.
the loggers and the logging and everything?
Yes.
And this was actually up by Eau Claire. It was on the Chippewa River.
Wow.
And this was a huge log jam. You can see it's backed all the way up the river there with all those logs, and then in the spring they would float them down.
Right.
Try to get them down to the sawmills. And this is where the log drivers, these guys that were the rock stars of their
Yes.
day, would
Yes.
come into play with their peavies and cant hooks, and then they had the big spikes on their shoes.
And they'd jump from log to log to
Right.
log to break them up.
Yeah.
And if something moved in an unanticipated way, 9 times out of 10 that guy died.
Well, yeah, if you went down, there wasn't any way you could get back up.
No,
Or you'd be
no.
crushed, too.
Right.
So
And here they
Jeez.
almost looks like matchsticks, but these
Yeah.
are like trees.
these are logs, and what they had to do to get these things going, it was like they had to get in
Wow.
there and find the key logs that
Yeah.
once they got moving, everything would, start becoming unjammed. But
Yeah. Unplugged.
a very high-risk occupation. I wonder if they carried
Life insurance?
Yeah. I think this was before OSHA, too. Perhaps.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
I don't think so, but...
Because those guys weren't cabled up or anything.
No.
Because if they went down, that was the
That
end
was-
of the ticket.
That was the end, but that was a notable log jam, I guess, apparently.
Yeah, the Chippewa River was very, very important.
Yeah. Yep.
Chippewa and Eau Claire rivers.
Eau Claire was called Sawdust City because
Yep.
they had 13 sawmills there.
Isn't that wild?
That is amazing. Now, this one, again, I don't know who these people are, but we were talking about immigrants and,
Yeah.
pioneers. These folks are out in Nebraska, I believe, and what they are living in is a soddy.
Yeah, look at the sod roof.
It's made out of sod. I think the roof looks like it needs a little help maybe before winter comes, but
Well, but it's Christmas because they have a wreath.
they have, yeah, and it's interesting. I'm sure it was dark in there because she's
Right.
got her treadle sewing machine out there.
Right.
And she has a bird cage, and she's trying to grow some flowers here in
Right.
pots and things. I
Look
just
at
think
that.
this poor lady out there in the middle of really, of the prairie
Right.
in a sod house, and what kind of determination would you have to have?
Wow, but what's cool about this picture, Nancy, is there's an elk horn
Yes, look
on
at
the
that.
on the top of the
Yep,
house.
Yep.
And so there must have been elk out there, right?
Yeah, we don't know where this is. This could have been Nebraska. It could have been the Dakotas.
Right.
Yeah. We just don't know. But I just thought this was a good picture of a soddy.
Wow.
They weren't big.
No.
They were not big, but apparently they were pretty good insulation.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's incredibly built. I
Yeah.
mean, chunk after chunk after chunk. It's got to be like putting together
Yeah.
a jigsaw puzzle, and then you have to frame up the door.
Yeah.
And then it looks like there is some framing done on the roof, but then the roof is covered with sod.
Yeah. And they just pretty much
Oh, the
have
rocking
everything.
chairs
They've got
outside
a rocking chair
and the
out here.
wash tubs?
Yep.
Huh.
Yep. and the dogs and the horses, they're all, I don't think these people have a whole lot. Apparently they don't have any children yet, but it's
Maybe
just,
they were newlyweds,
yeah,
right?
maybe.
And-
Oh boy, I bet that's connubial bliss out there in the the Saudi. Huh?
Well, and because the West is drier,
Yeah.
then I mean we've got pretty much water all over the place. We've got mill ponds and we've got streams and we've
Yeah.
got rivers but out west, how far did they have to go to get water? I mean, Nancy, it's one thing to have enough water for people, right? But for pets,
Yeah.
as well as horses.
Well, yeah.
How many gallons a day does a horse drink?
They can drink quite a bit, yeah. I mean, it's a big animal.
Well, and they have to have water
Right.
for their digestive tract because
Oh,
they've
yeah.
got kind of a fussy digestive
Right.
tract.
If things don't move through a horse, they're in trouble.
Then you got to
Yeah.
get the garden hose. Like, oh,
Oh my gosh.
it's amazing how when we're in the remote studio, we've got the kitchen timer that always, cuts us off. Cuts us off.
But we just have a couple more minutes here. We can look at some
We can
pictures.
pile through a few
yes,
more.
we'll just power through here. Look at this
Ooh.
guy. His name is Bill Hansen of Wisconsin. Well, that's kind of a generic name,
Bill
Yeah.
Hansen.
Yeah, but he's got a 34-pound raccoon.
That had to be what, a big boy, I would assume.
I think I had that one in our back shed a couple years ago, actually.
Oh goodness.
Some
that
of those
is-
raccoons get as big as
Yeah,
dogs.
They get huge.
Ah,
All depends on their diet.
I know it. They seem to be doing real well. And this is a picture that I had on Facebook, and a lot of people were interested. This was my great uncle Bob Hunter, who lived down on Decorah Prairie by Galesville. And in 1910, he had shot this buck up in, I think it was Price County.
Yes.
Because there weren't very many deer around here at that time.
No. I mean, people rode the trains to the north
To go deer
to
hunting.
go deer hunting.
And this deer had 12 points in field dressed at 200 and what does it say, 88?
255.
Yep. And the antler beam spread was 32.75. But they said,
Wow.
over the years it dried down to like a 30-inch.
Well, yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that is, I would say, I'm sorry, I know there's a lot of nice bucks that come out of Buffalo County, but this one would have been a keeper.
And this was, like I say, 1910. He died, unfortunately, in 1957, but 3 years later, it was actually scored by the Boone and Crockett.
Okay.
And then there's another outfit called Buck and Bear where they score things.
Yeah.
And even since 1910, that buck, that head still is like number 10 overall in, fantastic
Wow.
bucks in the
Do you
whole
hunt?
state. No.
Well, Nancy.
No, I told you
come
I don't
on.
like venison.
Oh. So one of your relatives still has one that's
Yes.
in the top 10 score.
Yeah, it's still
and
there.
I don't like venison.
No, I don't. But I grew
Not
up
even,
around that.
Not
ven.
even venison sausage.
No, well, maybe, but
Maybe
Yeah.
venison hot dogs.
this is not my thing. But
No, not your thing.
Uncle Bob was a very good shot, and his living room was full of stuffed deer heads.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, but this one is
So
still
you
down
remember
there.
him?
Oh yeah, this vaguely, yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, that hunter head is still, like I say, after all these years, it still holds a record. Now this is the Marinuka Theater down there. This is 1936.
Down in Galesville.
But what's, I think, important here is they have this show that comes on at 11 p.m. sharp. It's
Uh-oh.
called Forbidden Love, and it is for adults only. You bet.
Forbidden
Yeah,
love. A
and-
boy and girl in love.
Yeah.
Forgetting everything else.
Ooh.
A true story.
I know it. So,
Can we read through the shoulds?
it said, should motherhood be sacrificed for convenience?
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
Free love.
Yeah, and the last one is birth control. Should that be permitted?
Woo! We got scandal in Galesville, folks.
This was interesting because
Wow.
before, I think it was, I don't know, the late 30s or early 40s, before they actually had rules about what you could put in movies.
Oh, wow.
Kind of like a censorship.
Censorship.
Yeah, but this
There
was
we
at
go.
11 o'clock at night, so
Yeah.
you knew it wasn't going to be. Probably not the little kids trying to get into that one.
Oh.
And this one, quick, is from Strum, and this is
The drugstore
it's
and
the
bank.
drugstore. Yeah, the drugstore and the bank in Strum.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
And I do believe that, are those buildings still there?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Next time I go through Strum, I'm going to look.
And I bet you they are, but I bet you the window configurations may have changed.
Yeah.
But see, now I'm intrigued. Now
Yeah.
I'll have to pay better attention.
Yeah, it's one of those colorized. I think it was around.
Wow.
What'd they say? It was around 1915 or so. But
That is cool.
yeah, that was a good one. And quick, I've got to show this other one to you because this would be another. This would have been an uncle to Bruce's dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his name was Gilbert Nelson, and he was in his 80s. And they said that this was what he had been working on. Look at this wood pile in his 80s.
Oh, and those are perfect one-hand pieces.
Yeah.
For probably the cook stove in his kitchen.
Look at that. I just can't. There he is with his axe.
Yeah, there he is.
Boy, I'll tell you, Bruce comes from tough.
Well,
tough
he's
stock.
now and that really explains his obsession with wood and wood cutting and
splitting wood
and squirreling wood away and piling wood and helping his neighbors pile wood and helping everybody else pile wood.
Not only was it split to perfection, look how he piled it.
Oh, perfectly piled.
Yeah, I mean, that is a work of art right there.
And see, I'm fussy about the wood stack.
So does yours look like this?
Yeah,
does it?
our basement's full of wood. I mean,
Okay.
and it's perfectly stacked because Bruce's wife has issues that the wood in the basement needs to be stacked.
Well, see, it's just
I can't see out my windows because it's been so long they haven't been washed.
Well,
but the wood in the basement
priorities.
is perfectly
It's all about priorities. So we got one more quick one here. This was the original public school in Independence.
Wow.
And from what I can figure out, it was kind of where the second one was, the one that got torn down before they put in the new one in Independence, kind of on the, what would that be, the west side of town?
Yeah.
Yeah. But in its day, I mean, I bet it was cold in the winter.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah,
2
beautiful
stories?
Brick building with the belfry up there. And I'm not sure when the picture was taken, except I did notice a couple of kids were barefoot, so I guess that had to be in the fall or the spring session anyway.
Right.
Yeah. And they said it was originally built in, 1880. So that was really something for Independence to be proud of, because Independence didn't come into being until 1876.
Oh, really?
Yes. And
wow.
There's probably a bunch of your ancestors there.
That probably is the whole family. I was amazed when you were showing those other pictures of the immigrants, and it's like, finally, somebody who's not related to me.
Well, we
right?
don't know.
Mrs. Mish?
Yeah.
She was, her lineage doesn't sound like she's a relative of mine.
I bet there's a Mish that was related to a Wreck or a Jellin or something somewhere. With all those descendants, holy cow.
And they all came over to hang out in Trempealeau County, Wisconsin.
Did. So anyway, that's this kind of, one more. I love this picture because I don't know whose house this is, but I saw this and I thought, I know what that door would sound like when it closed. Can you just hear it going in?
Snap. Yes.
There's the old screen door, and to the side there, they've got all the beautiful flowers, the morning glories. But
look at that.
That door, I just know what it sounded like.
Yes.
When you went through it. So I bet a bunch of other people do too.
And depending on the time of the year, you may have to pull it just a little bit harder because that one corner would stick.
Right. And you got to do it quicker. You got yelled at because you're letting flies in. Well, Mary, I think that maybe we have recovered from our,
Traumatic experience.
yeah, hopefully. And I still think that our problems is because you have all that you've got that magnetic, you said you get shocks and things.
I do.
Yes, well.
I do. We went through a period
This way.
where there was some little bit of stray voltage, and my electrical pulses are not the same.
That's
You know
what I
how when you
thought.
get like the carpet electricity
Right.
static?
Yeah.
I get shocked all the time, even in the summertime when we really should be getting shocked.
Well, I talked to my son Franz again about it. And come up here.
Is there a pill or something?
Well, this is what he said that you're going to need. He said that you are, he said you're probably going to have a copper wire
Oh.
that, you get drags behind you.
Oh, okay.
And he recommends at least 10 feet of stranded bare 14 gauge wire or 3 feet of 1 inch braided copper strap. You got that?
Tell Franz I love him dearly, but I am not walking around with a tail.
Dragging copper wire. Well, anyway, thank you, folks. And remember, if you get in trouble like we do, you can always call
Yes.
Bluber.
Yeah, Bluber will rescue
Yep,
you.
yep.
And just one short little public service announcement. If you have an upcoming event
Yes.
or a special thing going on with your club, your community, be sure to give the folks down at the studio a call
Yeah.
at least a couple, 3 weeks ahead of time,
Right.
so they can get a camera crew set up to come and tape your event. And thank you very much for joining us on another edition of History Files.